Hi guys, my name is Ali and welcome to the Entrepreneur Show.
Hey guys, on today's episode is going to be a little bit special. We're talking to a young entrepreneur who was born and raised in the UAE. He traveled abroad, of course, and then he came back. He came back with an, let's say, a revolutionary idea where nobody in the market or nobody in the GCC had a focus on. But with his persistence and the team behind him, he decided to basically expand into the market here and focus on helping all the young and small businesses into growing. Please welcome with me Ali from SHIPLIFIER. Ali, please tell us about yourself.
So, obviously my name is Ali. I was born and raised in UAE.
Nice.
I'm Iraqi Canadian. I studied mainly in Canada.
Okay.
I did my undergrad and a bit of high school actually in Canada. I got my degree. I worked a bit in Canada, and I just love Dubai. So I was like, you know what? I have to come back to Dubai and live.
What
and
did you
start something.
do in Canada? Like growing up, let's say during high school,
Yes.
university, like what were you doing?
So in Canada, what's nice about it is even at a young age, let's say at 14, 13, you can still study and work. So that's what I did. I was working into like, as the usual Canadian thing, Tim Horton. You go work there for a bit as a part-time and everything. And I was studying in high school, obviously. And then once I graduated, I went to York University, where I pursued my degree. And I got a degree as a business administration from there. And then before coming to Dubai, I'm like, you know what, let me have some sort of experience, the Canadian experience before coming to UAE. And that's when I started working in Canada for about 4 to 5 years.
What is the Canadian experience?
Canadian experience it's more relaxed. It's like a relaxed experience where you just, what's nice about Canadian experience is like they let you do, like they let you nourish, right? So there's not a lot of micromanagement. It's like more of a macro management.
Okay.
So even when I was working, my job is, I was a salesperson, right? I was a salesperson for a tech company there.
Okay.
I'll tell you a bit more about it. So basically it was a tech company what's related to the e-commerce and the logistics industry as well. So pretty much similar
I
to
see where this is going now.
exactly. So it's
Okay.
pretty much similar to what I'm doing right now. And what's nice about it is like they let you for the first couple of months. They train you, obviously. They tell you what it is, how you should sell, how you should talk to people and customers. But the nice part about it is like they let you go. So it's like they tell you this is what you need to do and show us how you could do it. And that's what's nice about it. So you start developing stuff that you didn't know about yourself, and to how to perform, how to reach those tasks. So there's not a specific person on top of you where like, you know, oh, you need to do this, you need to do that. Like every week there's like a...
No KPI system, nothing.
No, nothing. Because they see how you perform. Like the more numbers, it's all about numbers game, right? The more you perform, the more numbers they see. So that means, oh, you're doing well. And then obviously like that's when you develop yourself and you know how to tackle in terms of sales, in terms of your own KPIs yourself. So that's what I like. That's what I wanted to know. I wanted to challenge myself and I wanted to actually see what are capabilities that I have that can outperform myself.
And that was the first job experience you've had, right?
Before that, obviously, I was working into like those when I was younger, like I was working.
Yeah.
And I was working with my dad.
Okay.
I was working with my dad in jewelry.
Okay.
Because funny enough, just a backstory is like our family name in Arabic is Javaheri.
Okay.
So it's like a family thing where like it's like a heritage where we go like
100%.
exactly. So I was working with my dad for some time, but then again like a father-son relationship is not like a manager and an employee. So I was like, you know, very lenient, whatever it is. I didn't like it that much, to be very, very honest with you, because I wasn't learning. I was like, okay, it's my dad's business. I could do whatever I want, but then what is it? It wasn't worth it for me, you know, because I wanted to learn more. I wanted to see what is Ali capable of doing. So that's why I went and I actually insisted on me to go and study and work in Canada.
Okay, so what really moves Ali to work and produce is to feel challenged rather than being at comfort.
Exactly. Because if you're at comfort, like let's say I'm sitting in a cushion, I'm comfortable. My mind psychologically is like, okay, you're comfortable here. You don't need to move. You don't need to go and see if there's maybe a comfier chair to sit at. Let's say. So if you're in a comfortable position, you're not gonna be able to grow yourself. You're gonna be like staying still. Right?
100%.
But that to me, that's not growth. That's just being autopilot for the rest of your life. But to me, I saw that I needed to grow. I needed to reach somewhere in my life. That's why I wanted to step out of that comfort zone. Because especially if you have, for example, as a father who is, let's say, an entrepreneur, he has a family business and whatnot, we as youth, we tend to always go to that route. You're like, you know what? Hey, it's easier for me. Let me just go. Let me continue whatever my dad built because he built something. How can I just let it go away? Let me take it. But will you be able to continue it?
But
No.
sometimes the father or the family, they're the ones that actually push you and insist on you being in that business. because they think it's a legacy and their offspring needs to continue and flourish it some way.
100%. That's the ideal goal, right? But then how can your son, how can he flourish that business if he hasn't worked in a proper place, or he hasn't gotten that let's say employee mindset, right? Because if let's say I was working with my dad, I didn't understand what time management was. I don't understand what KPIs was. I don't understand what responsibility was, because I'm like, okay, it's my dad. At the end of the day, he's not gonna kick me out of the company, right?
Of course.
So I'm like, I didn't see myself adding value to it. But when you go and work somewhere else and have like a manager, let's say, even if they weren't as strict, but a manager that you needed to report to, or you needed time management where you need to clock in and clock out, that just teaches you some sort of responsibility for yourself. You go like, I'm disciplined, I'm disciplining myself, and later on, if I wanna open my own thing, if I want to go back and work with my father, I'm disciplined. I know how to run stuff right now.
Got you.
From like an experience point of view, not as a youth who doesn't have any experience.
Makes sense. Okay, I have a hypothetical question now.
Sure.
Let's say in the future, soon inshallah, you would have your own son.
Correct.
Let's say once he grows and he decides to start work, he comes to you and he says, Dad, I don't want to work. I don't want to work for anybody. I want to work with you. How would you respond to that?
My response is, why? What's the reason you want to work for me? Is it because you're comfortable, or is it because you have ideas? You wanna flourish the business. If it's because he's comfortable, that's not a right answer for me. Because you need to see, they need to step out of the comfort zone. I need to see what added value he's gonna be adding, right? If he just comes in, what are you gonna be accomplishing? Because I know a lot of people, for example, they go work in their parents' business, but they're not adding any value. 100%. So you're just as if like another employee in the company. Right? And I don't want that, because to me, if I do that, let's say, inshallah, for like the future generation, I'm depriving him from his knowledge. I'm depriving him from actually reaching his full potentials. That's me destroying my son rather than flourishing him and guiding him to the right direction. It might be harsh, yes, but that's the right way.
Life is harsh.
Life
if you're
is
not
harsh.
going to be harsh on him, then life is definitely.
I'd rather me be harsh on him rather than life.
Exactly.
Because as harsh as I want to be to him, that's me loving my son rather than me just showing him like, oh, I don't care about you.
Exactly.
That's it. So
hard love. Not a lot of them would understand that at a young age, but later on, 100% they will respect that. Okay, Ali, I really have an important question, because we both grew up here.
Correct.
And we definitely know a lot of people. And from high school, from middle school, high school, university, even friends from the same neighborhood, we have a lot of them.
Correct.
And let's be honest, I'm talking about myself. 80 to 90% of the people that I knew, that I grew up with here, they're basically just working with their family.
Correct.
Regardless what they do. And I've seen some of them. They just go to the office. They have their own setup. They go, they sit, they open their laptop, they order food, they chat, smoke, leave. Okay, that was the day. They get their salary and they're happy.
Yeah.
They feel fulfilled.
100%.
And when you ask them, what do they do? Oh, I work for this company. Wait, isn't that your parents? Yeah, it is. Okay, what are you doing there? I'm helping the family. I'm taking over the business. And they're convinced like that. As long as the parents have set the business to bring in a specific amount every single month or a specific profit every single quarter, they're happy living off that. And they really have no intention of growing it or expanding it. Like what your parents did, let's say back in the 90s, is 100% different than what you can do in 2020.
Correct.
Because you can grow it in a different way. Now technology has taken over. We've become more exposed to the world, more global trade, more technology, more international brands coming over to Dubai.
Correct.
And 90% of them, they just don't care.
So my opinion about that, I agree with you 100%. The reason why is, in my opinion, obviously, it's the son or the daughter, let's say, they're exposed to the family's wealth at a young age. Meaning that, let's say, for example, if you know, hypothetically, right, if you know that your father has X amount, and your father is giving you X amount of money every single month, you're not gonna be working, because if you, let's say nowadays you want to go work anywhere in UAE, the salary that you want to go work as an employee is going to be different than the salary that you're getting from your dad.
Of course.
Right? So you're exposed to that certain luxury that you go like, why should I go and go through that hardship when I'm offered all the salary, I'm already offered to my dad's luxury life, and I'm exposed to that money. So what's the point of me going that route? Let me just work. At the end of the day, I'm going to be taking over the company whether I like it or not. So it's my opinion, a lot of it depends on, obviously, the person himself, if he has the capability to nourish himself or not. Because to be very honest with you, not a lot of people want to think the way, for example, you and I think, or other entrepreneurs, or any people in the world, right? Some people go like, you know what, I'm comfortable with the way I am. I don't want to go to the next level. I don't want to see what's my personal capabilities. I'm comfortable with the way I am, and I don't want to go to the next step. Why should I go through the hardship? Why should I go to the next level? There's no need. But to me, it's part of it is the person, but the bigger part is the parent, right? Is the father or the mother figure that is in the house that pushing the son to do X amount, right? It's funny, like with all my friends, we always talk about is like a lot of it in Arabic. I'll say it's tarbiyah. It's the way you teach your sons or your daughter, how you raise them, right? Because if you raise them in the right way and you instill that mindset of like, you know what, life is not easy, life is tough. You need to go, you need to do this. Wealth is not there 24/7.
Exactly.
You might be driving a Range Rover today, and then tomorrow you drive a Camry. You need to be adapting yourself to actually, being able to accept both ways, because life is not easy.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
That's a fact. But do you think this would have an impact on the future economy, let's say, of the region?
In what
Because
sense?
let's say, for example, in the 90s, all our parents and all the previous generations, they came from less, so they really put in so much effort to grow and flourish to where they are today, 100%. But we, as the following generation, we actually had it a little bit easy. Do you think because we had it a little bit easy, or let's say our generation is more likely to just settle for what they have rather than strive to achieve so much more because they don't have much of a competition?
I think they were settled to be whatever they have. They won't go to the next level because they're comfortable. They're not, because the older generation, they had no way out. That was they're living on survival mode.
Exactly.
Now everyone's like, oh, okay, it's fine. Everyone's relaxed. Everyone's taking it easy. Everyone's trying to find a way where they want to be an overnight success, the easiest way possible and the shortest. They want to take a shortcut. But back in the day, the generation, for example, your parents and my parents and everyone in the 90s, their mindset was survival mode. I have to provide for the table, and no matter what, I needed to make that money. They had that. It was instilled in their life, in their mindset, in their life, because obviously all the trauma they've been through, all the life, all the things that happened. With us, because they've reached that level of success, let's say, they were able to give us an easier life.
Exactly.
Because they gave us an easier life, now we're comfortable. Now
we're gonna give our offspring a harder life.
A harder life. So now it's like a reverse cycle, reverse cycle, right?
Yeah.
So we have it easy. Like if you think about it, because all the hard work was done through the previous generation. All the businesses that have been flourishing is because they've been here for like years and years, right? And then the new generation is just taking it easy. They're like, okay, you know what? It's already there. I'm autopiloting right now. But then the newer generation that's gonna come, right? Because now everything needs to be recycled, right? Now the older generation, like the companies that are right now are here, they're based on the older mindset.
100%.
Now the new mindset and the new technologies that are coming are based on on the new generation that's coming. So the newer generation, they will have that ability and the knowledge to take it to the next level.
Exactly. Okay. Well, let's move on to SHIPLIFIER. What is SHIPLIFIER exactly?
SHIPLIFIER is an aggregator, or to simplify it, we're just an aggregator. Like let's say an aggregator that provides different rates with different companies, all under one roof. You as an individual, as a business owner, let's say you want to ship a product, you don't know technically where to go, let's say, or who to go, or who has the best rates. So you technically have to go and call different couriers, give deposits, opening account, give them trade license, X, Y, and Z, right? But with us, it's very simple. You just come to our platform, you put your email, password, where you want to ship, and the courier themselves, they come and pick it up from your doorstep.
Okay.
It's we simplified it as much as possible so the customer or the user, business owner, doesn't waste a lot of time processing an order for his customers, because we know business owners, they have so much on their mind, right? From processing the shipment, managing, making sure the shipment is there on time, packing it, getting feedback from customers. All of that takes a lot of time from the customer. So we want to take a bit of chunk of his time and simplifying it so he has more time to actually think of sales, marketing, the valuable aspects of the business.
Okay, this is what is SHIPLIFIER. Now, the second question is, why SHIPLIFIER?
Why SHIPLIFIER? Good question. So why SHIPLIFIER is, as I mentioned, I was working in Canada in the e-commerce and logistics industry. We all know that the past, let's say from 2020, a boom happened for the e-commerce or online orders. Because of Corona and anything, everyone started buying stuff online. Even if people, like my mom, she never knew what was online shopping. She hated it. Now she just wants to buy everything online.
Okay.
So she's like, oh, okay, check this new stuff. So everyone is on buying stuff online right now.
It's easy. It's simple.
It's convenient.
Yeah, 100%.
It's very convenient. So, and seeing that the UAE is being one of the pioneers in the technology, anything that's new happening, they're the leaders in that aspect, right? But unfortunately, the only thing that was lacking was the transportation aspect, which is the last mile delivery, as they call it, or the shipping part. That was still outdated in a sense where like customers or people, they're used to like, picking up the phone, calling the driver, hey, I have a shipment, come pick it up. But then there's delays that happen because no actual transit time is mentioned. No information is there. Some people just write notes on top of the parcel, ship it from this part to this part. A lot of delays happen. So I saw there's a lot of gap in that, right? Because if you think about it, e-commerce in general, in the UAE has been, or in the MENA region, started in the mid-20s.
Yeah.
So mid-2000, sorry. So 2013, 14. Compared to North America, it's been there since the 1990s. So there is that gap between us and North America where we have the potential to even exceed that in the coming years. So I was like, you know what, why not start it from now where we can introduce something new, a new technology, a new digitalization for that aspect that's outdated, so we can keep up with the Western region or even excel in that as well. So that was the initial part about it.
Okay.
And especially that I have the experience and I've worked there for 4 to 5 years. So I was like, you know what, let me take that fruit and just put it here.
Exactly. And you've been operational for a year.
For 1 year.
And that's starting the soft launch or that's starting the inception?
No, the soft launch.
Okay.
Soft launch, but we were like operational before it. But like the actual launch, the soft launch was a year and 2 months, let's say.
Talk to me about your team.
So, so the team we were very young. Like when I wanted to hire people, I made sure that everyone is in their early 20s or mid 20s because I want to have a young team, right? Because because it's a new business, right? Because it's something related to the youth. So I wanted something built by the youth.
Exactly.
Right? That's what I intended. So hiring people, it's taking me a long time just because I wanted to hire the right candidates. But alhamdulillah, ever since then, we were like, when I launched, we were like 2 people. It was just me and 2 developers in a small office.
Okay.
And then now we're like a team of 10.
Your developers are in-house in the UAE?
In-house. In UAE.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
We're like 2 people.
That helps.
Yeah.
That helps.
Yeah, exactly. So at least like everything. That's why when you want to change something quickly, like within a month, everything is done, right? So we started off with me and 2 developers, and now we're a team of 10, and actually 3 people are joining us. So
Oh, wow.
13. Yeah.
Okay, and who is your best, or who's the one person in your company that you can, don't give me a name,
Okay.
give me a designation, that you cannot operate without?
Obviously, actually 2.
Okay.
2 is the admin aspect, because it takes like easily 60% of my headache just takes at that.
Wow.
Because I want to explain something to you.
Please.
In the business that we are in right now, we encounter a lot of headaches from the customers because we are the point of contact for the couriers. So if they have anything, they come to us rather than going to the courier. Because that's the business model. We go like, you know what, come to us and don't go there. So we have a lot of back and forth with them. Like, oh, where's my shipment? Where's that? And this. So imagine like we have around like 1,000 users on our platform. So imagine getting messages every single day. And
so they call you, they complain. You need to call the shipping company directly, complain, and then resolve and get back.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, so we try to make it in a more simplified way. We have a direct line with the courier. And it's all on WhatsApp.
Good.
So they just send us, we directly forward it, and everything is done. It's instead of taking that longer, as when I first started, it was taking me all of that route. They send me, I talk to the courier. Now we just we optimized it, and it resolved like in 10, 15 minutes. Everything's gonna resolved.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So that part, and obviously my tech team. They're the brains behind everything.
Tech team.
They're the brains behind everything.
So aside from you bringing the concepts, what would you say your biggest input into the company is?
The biggest input is obviously the vision, right? Because you can reinvent the wheel, right? You can get whatever thing is happening in anywhere in the world and just bring it to wherever you are. But what's the purpose of you bringing it? What's the long-term goal for it? Like, let's say, for example, I brought it. Okay, they're doing something there. I'll bring it in UAE, and then what? What's the next step for you to do? How are you gonna be implementing it? if you did it for first year, second year, and then what's the third year? What's your vision for the third and fourth and fifth year, right?
Exactly.
You cannot expect to bring something that's already working and then expect it to work as well as it was in that region without actually having a vision for it. So that's the most important thing. And the guidance, like guiding each employee on what to do and how to excel, that's the biggest thing. Because you need to actually understand how the employee thinks and treat them the way they should be treated. In a sense where like, let's say, for example, you are the person that is very emotional, hypothetical, let's say. I need to actually respect that and actually talk to you in the language that you prefer to be talked to. I cannot be harsh, then you're like, you know what, I'm not going to perform. So managing that is what guided the company, and obviously the vision, that's the most important thing.
Okay, now I like that because everything you're speaking about now is in regards to what investors would actually be interested in hearing. What is your, like, where do you stand on, let's say, fundraising or growing the company or speaking with VCs? Have you tried or taken any approach yet?
Yes. When I started SHIPLIFIER in the beginning, we started in 2022. Like that was like the proof of concept. I took it to GITEX, right? And luckily we had a lot of VCs and investors interested, right?
Nice.
With big names. Now that all the response was like, we like the idea, it's nice, it's good.
They want to see the ball rolling, and then we'll talk.
Exactly. So now that we're reaching out to them again, we're seeing a lot of interest. Funny enough, when was it? 2 days ago? No, sorry, Monday, which is a couple of days back. I was invited to an event that happened in UAE. It's called Dubai FinTech Summit.
Yeah.
I was invited there, and luckily there, I got the chance to speak to one of the biggest names, let's say, in the VCs and in the shipping industry, right? I pitched him my idea. I talked to him, I pitched him my idea, and he was very interested. He gave me his contact, and he's like, send me your pitch, and we can take it from there. So that's something good to have.
And so at this point, you're looking to raise funds?
Yes.
Towards what?
The funds we're looking, basically, we have an idea to expand to other markets. That's one. And secondly, is just to get more traction, like to get more employees coming in to expand the company.
Does the company need more employees to grow?
There's always need for employees, because, and the main aspect of it is the sales, because you need sales, right? Even if you have the most amazing.
You need sales to do what? You need sales to lock in startups or e-commerce stores to basically
get more leads. Get more leads, basically. Have more budget for marketing. Get more sales team to actually do the cold calling and to manage the customers, right? Because as I mentioned, we have 1,000 employees, and now we have, let's say, three sales team. So yeah, to manage that, we need more sales teams. 100%. You need more stuff. So it mainly allocates to like sales and the marketing.
I've personally faced this problem with my app. And to be very honest, for me, it's basically a discount app and I need to onboard vendors. And most of the time, it was just about hiring salespeople to go out to the vendors, to speak to them, introduce the brand, who we are, what we do, and then ask them to join.
Correct.
Which I feel wasn't that effective, because the most common questions at that point were, oh, who are you? We haven't heard about you. We haven't seen your brand name out there.
Exactly.
We don't see you on billboards on Sheikh Zayed Road. We don't hear you on the radio. We don't see a lot of you with influencers on social media. Yeah, we're growing. We're getting there. Give us some time. It takes time to pick up traction. They're like, yeah, but you know what? Why would I work with you rather than working with your competitor, which gives me 1,000 tickets a month and you're only guaranteeing me 10?
Yeah.
By all means, please go work.
Go ahead.
I have nothing to say. And to be honest, over the course of 5 years, my salaries for sales over the past 5 years has crossed 500,000 dirhams.
Oh yeah.
And what's my ROI? What's my return on investment in spending 500,000? Roughly around 400 vendors.
Yeah.
Okay, but then if I calculate 500,000 divide 400 vendors, my onboarding cost is a
high.
Disaster.
Yeah.
And that's when I personally, starting this year, actually in Jan, I started thinking, oh no, I need to automate that. I need to basically have a sign-up page on my website. I need to direct traffic there. Exactly. Ideally, that would remove the sales department completely. I would just have accounts managers who would handle the accounts, and that's ideal.
Correct.
And it would save me a lot of cost. I'm sorry, but spending, let's say, 100,000 dirhams on ad spend to basically reach out to all the vendors in the UAE is much easier and secure and guaranteed rather than actually hiring a sales team. And
Correct, because here it's all about credibility at the end of the day, right? If I call you, you're not gonna know who am I, right?
Exactly.
So it's like, okay, why should I come to you? But if they see a post on social media or anywhere, you're like, okay, this guy is legit. Let me just go with him. So this is a similar approach that we took. The reason why we want to hire more salespeople is just to maintain the accounts and maintain an upsell.
Okay.
Because our main purpose is maintaining the customers and making them stay with us as long as possible. So basically the retention period.
Exactly.
The sales, the cold calling, all of that, it's kind of old school. Like, but it's still worth it. It's still worth it, by the way.
With who?
To contact.
It works with people over the age of 40.
100%.
People under the age of 40, they're not interested.
No. As soon as you hear your voice, I'm okay.
Exactly.
I hung the phone. So that's the thing. So the strategy of cold calling is it works and doesn't work, right? It works in specific age group, as you mentioned. But the strategy that we're going with is mainly spending a lot on marketing, and we're heavily depending on word of mouth.
Okay.
Because in UAE, word of mouth works a lot.
It's the key.
It's the key.
It's the key.
Exactly. So, and the reason why we want to have a lot of account managers to maintain those customers and to make them trust the process and trust the brand that they're using. Because if you think about it, us humans, we like to be loyal to one specific brand, right? Let's say, for example, that's it. iPhone, exactly.
I don't use Samsung. I don't use Android.
Exactly. So whenever iPhone releases anything, everyone lines up for it.
Exactly.
So they feel like some sort of attachment to that brand.
It's an emotional bond.
Exactly. So that's what we want to do. So the reason we're gonna get this account managers is to make sure that they give them that sense of attachment and actually befriend them. So a lot of customers, for example, they just call me, "Hey Ali, how are you? I just want to talk to you." So because they got like some sort of trust between me and them, and they feel like, oh, I'm close to you. Like the other day, I had a customer who was like, let's go out for shisha together. Apart from work, just let's go shisha. He's
if
like,
they're meeting a CEO, 100% they want to be good friends, and they feel that I can trust the brand because I know the owner and I've worked with him closely.
Exactly. So that's the reason why we want to befriend our customers and get account managers to maintain that friendship. And then obviously with that, the word of mouth, the marketing, and just cold calling here and there just to get that extra sales. But a lot of it is just account management for now.
Okay. And from what I've seen, major brands who have succeeded, including unicorns in the region,
Correct.
they always focus on building a community for their product or service. You know, like they sponsor specific events, they target a specific age group, they target a specific, let's say, nationality. They speak to them their language, they give them value of what they want. And it's, after all, it's all about the lifestyle. It's not about the product, it's not about the service.
It's a lifestyle.
It's the lifestyle. Sell me a lifestyle, I'm yours, I'm going to be loyal to you.
Correct.
That's what I'm for. So how would you say Shiplifier plays that game?
So we have that idea. I like that. I like the fact that you mentioned it because it comes back to the same point that I was mentioning, the fact that some sort of attachment to that brand, right? So to build that in UAE, it's when you make the customers involved in your brand. And the reason we want to do that is we want to make sure, like, we want to build a community around the fact that customers can interact with us as freely as they want in terms of, let's say, give us feedback. Sometimes here and there we throw surveys to our customers, tell them what are the things that you like about us, what are things that we want us to improve about it. So we go like, okay, you know what? So we can take a key from the customers and go like, we improved it, we listened to you. When you feel like you're heard, you go like, okay, I like that. I feel like I'm involved in that company, right? Exactly. Like the fact that, for example, in Ramadan, we went and we started giving a giveaway for Ramadan. We partner up with a specific foundation where we go like give meals for the white collar people. So we want to showcase that we're not just a company that, okay, just selling you shipping prices and whatnot. We want to say that we're part of the community that you guys are doing, where whatever you guys are helping us with, we're giving back to the community. And whether it's, so obviously because we started small, like we've been like a year and a couple of months operating, we've done a few things where it's like feeding the poor, giving out, for example, free giveaways for like people who invest, giving out, like surveys for customers to give them their feedback. But obviously down the line, we have ideas to get the customers involved with one another as well, where it becomes like a small community for us, customers can communicate with one another and actually maybe benefit from one another as well.
See, I don't want to be the mean person to say, why are you giving the poor? I believe this is an obligation for all of us.
Yeah.
But again, your community is not the poor or the needy or even the white collar.
No.
Your communities are actually founders or, let's say, designers or new brands that are just launching in the UAE e-commerce based. So how are you connecting with those?
Well, the main thing I'm connecting with them is obviously helping them grow, like, right? In terms of saving them costs on shipping. I give them advices about e-commerce. A lot of them call us and communicate with us like, hey, Ali, I have this shipment. How can I bring it? Or I have this brand. How can you help me market it? We actually sit down with few of those business owners and actually advise them on what is the best route to go, what is where to put your money in terms of e-commerce to help you improve your sales.
Nice.
So when we talk about such people and we start communicating with them in that instance, they feel like, this guy doesn't want to rip me off with money, right? He's actually helping me, but he's saving me money as well. So we tend to do that,
Nice.
but actually, like, we started off a couple of months ago and we started giving it more and more because I'm part of a group of they like to call themselves mompreneurs.
Okay.
Right, so it's nice. It's very nice. It's like moms working from home, building their own brand, and a lot of them actually come to me as like, "Hey, Ali, you know what? How can I just market myself?" Right. The other day, a mom called me. She's like, "Ali, I know this is out of work, but I just have a few questions. If you can help me." I'm like, "Sure, tell me." It's like, "Okay, I'm seeing all these brands market themselves. How can I market myself? Why am I not getting sales enough? Why am I not getting enough sales and like actually brand awareness? Even though my concept is nice, I'm like, you can't just focus on newsletters," because she was focusing on newsletters. I'm like, don't focus on newsletters. Focus on the content. Put out content. Hire a nice intern. Do X, Y, and Z. All of these kind of stuff to help grow your content. It was like a 35, 40-minute conversation.
Wow.
And I felt happy because the woman was very happy because she felt like, she felt like she's talking to someone that she can trust.
And you gave her benefit, basically.
I gave her benefit. I'm like, I'm here to help, even though don't ship with me. I'm happy just to communicate with you, to actually give your business an awareness.
Exactly.
So that's something that I personally like to do myself.
All right, that answers everything I want to know. So, let's say the market in the UAE right now, you have launched in 2022, early 2022.
Correct.
Do you think that this is the perfect time for you to launch? Or maybe 2015, 2016? Do you think if you launched a little bit earlier, it would have been more beneficial for you as a business to grow? Or do you think this is the right time, and why?
I think this was the right time, because before it, as I mentioned, like, e-commerce just started right now, right? 2013, 14, 15 in the MENA region. So if I started back then, I would have been spending so much more money just on education and actually bringing awareness, even though I am doing right now, because I'm giving more education and more consultation about what is the industry, what is the shipping industry, how to do that, how to process that and digitalize that. That if I did that back then, it would have been costing me a fortune and a lot of energy. And I do believe, even though I was speaking to someone the other day, I'm like, I do believe the business model that I've created, even though if it doesn't work, it's not going to be for this year, nor the next year, nor it's going to be for the next 5 years. That's when people actually utilize the full potential of my business.
Exactly.
So I feel like I started on a good 2022, 2023 was good just because Corona hit, and now I got like an extra boost of energy of the e-commerce here. People start, okay, now there's a new thing that's e-commerce. Let me be more involved in it. So people started understanding a bit more. They took themselves like a couple of years to actually understand it. And now you see like a boom of online presence, online shopping, online selling as well. So the time frame that I entered is a good time frame just because it hits the spot. But yeah, before I don't think it would have been good because it's very time consuming.
And who are your key competitors in the market?
Key competitors?
Yeah.
So there are, when I first started, there wasn't any in UAE.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
There wasn't any in UAE. There was in other regions like Saudi.
You're talking about delivery companies, or you're talking about aggregators?
Aggregators.
Okay.
There was not. Because delivery companies, obviously they're there.
Yeah.
I don't consider delivery companies as my competitor just because I work with them. Right?
Okay. So I'm sorry, like let's say for example Delivery Hero. That's not a competitor?
It's different. Delivery Hero is different than what I do.
They supply for Talabat. They supply also individual. Like they work for companies and they work for e-commerce stores, and they also give them exclusive rates depending on the volume that they provide.
Exactly, but with us, we don't have any of that. With us, it's exclusive for individuals and business owners, and there's no minimum of whatever you want to do. It's just one price, and you can go. And even if that's discounted already. It's the most discounted price you can get in the market with trusted courier companies, right? And then obviously, the more you do, it actually can give you more discounts on top of that.
Okay, so let's say, for example, I'm an e-commerce store right now.
Yeah.
Okay, let's say I'm selling hoodies.
Mm-hmm.
What would the fees be?
So the fees would be generally within UAE a flat rate of 13 dirhams.
So every time I get an order, the courier goes to the basically comes to my store,
Correct.
picks up the hoodie, drops it to the user,
Correct.
drops it to them, and leaves. How much do I have to pay?
13.
13.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Anywhere in the UAE.
Anywhere in the UAE.
Guys, anybody who's got an e-commerce store who's looking to ship products in the UAE, it's only 13 dirhams. Please contact SHIPLIFIER straight away. Wow.
Yeah.
Where's your profit?
So
What's your profit margin here?
the business model is like that. We just take a commission out of it. So basically,
Okay.
we get discounted prices from the courier, and we put a markup on it, and we do
Okay.
it. The markup is a good markup. It's
Okay.
good.
Do you think? Not do you think? Are you actually profitable? Let's say a year from now.
A year from now,
A year from now.
we'll be, I think we'll be close to 80 to 85% profit. Like, we still have a bit more, but we'll be like very close to being
So let's say
profitable.
in a year and a half you'll break
Yes.
even and you'll be profitable.
Yes.
And these are based on assumptions, or these are based on, let's say, lifetime value of the current users that you have.
Lifetime value of the current users and the expectation of the company as well for financial studies.
Okay, that's interesting. And expansions in the GCC?
Expansion, yes, there is. We're actually planning on expanding in the GCC very soon. We're going to
Very soon.
Very soon.
Very soon.
Very soon.
Okay.
We're planning on going to Saudi, hopefully, if God in God's will.
There's no competition there.
There is.
There is.
Yes.
Big ones.
There's a couple. What?
Because Saudi is massive when it comes to e-commerce.
It is massive. It is very massive. But the thing is, this is what my intake about competition that I like. If you're operating a business and there's no competition, there's a flaw.
Mm.
There's something missing.
And the quality is not going to be high.
Exactly, and there's something that's wrong because you don't know whether if there's no competition, that means your product maybe it's not the right thing, for the market. But when you have competition, that means your proof of concept is good. That means people actually are utilizing it, and it's a good thing for the economy. But obviously healthy competition that we're talking about.
Of course.
So the more competition is, the better it is for your business, because then you get to flourish. You get to actually work harder to go like, you know what, I want to stay on top. It's like a race. You're racing. Who's going to stay on top? At the end of the day, there's a lot of a lot of competition wherever you want to go, right?
Exactly.
But you can always get a piece of the pie.
True.
Yeah.
True. See, it's going to a new market. It's completely different because you got to speak a different language. You got to, like, let's say, for example, if you talk, like, how you got customers here in the UAE is going to be completely different how you get customers in Saudi. And you were telling me you were looking to expand into Egypt as well. That's
Egypt,
a completely
correct.
different
That's
market.
a whole thing.
You got to talk a different language. Like these guys, they're not even Arabs. Like, you know, they have their own language in a way, especially the market.
Correct. But that's a study. That's a fun thing. It's like always a challenge that you challenge yourself, right? So you go, you do your study, you go like, you know what, you be part of the people. So the reason, the way we approach things is we don't, even I tell my salespeople, I'm like, forget sales. Forget the fact that you're selling. Just talk as if he's a normal person. As if you're sitting down one-on-one with the person. Just communicate with him. Exactly. How are you doing? What are you doing? Consult that person. Or not even consult, just listen. Some people, some business owners, they're so stressed about logistics or they're so stressed about their business that obviously when you come and approach them as sales, they go like, I don't have time for you, just close. But when you approach them as, hey, I just want to talk to you. How is your business? And what's the worst thing about your business that you don't like that we can help you in? And they go like, you know what, this actually person is consulting me. So they're opening up. The same way we go to other regions. Obviously, we need to understand how the region thinks and work, but it's going to be a study that we do. And then we communicate with the customers and we go like, you know what, we always want to approach that we're here with you. We're working hand in hand to make your business in a better way. We're not working against you, we're working with you.
So you consider yourself as a B2B, right? Like
Correct.
you help businesses, but you also work to customers.
Yes. So if the person is an individual, he's like, you know what, I'm sitting in UAE, I want to ship something to Abu Dhabi. I have my friend, I want to send him something. He can still utilize the platform.
Man, where have you been? Where have you been? Honestly, like most of the time, I need to send my driver all the way to Abu Dhabi to pick up, like, let's say, a contract or something just to bring it to me.
Yeah.
And it's a hassle. It takes a lot of time. It costs money. A lot of problems may happen.
Exactly. So that's why.
13 dirhams and I get it the next day?
Yes.
We need to exchange contacts. Seriously, you know, I'm fascinated by this, honestly.
It's less of a headache, and you don't have to worry about anything. Halas, you process it, and then you just
And
come back.
what's the process for users? So let's say you've told me that for for businesses, they have to sign up. They get a username and a password, and they need to fill in the details. etc. Now leave that aside. Now, what about for a user?
For user, it's the same thing. It's as if you're creating an account on Instagram, let's say.
Okay, so I need to create an account.
That's it.
Put in my credit card details.
No credit card, nothing.
So how does the payment work?
The payment, we have a wallet top up, right? So you just
Okay.
top up your wallet. So you put whatever amount you want.
And you just utilize that.
utilize it, and then you put the sender, the receiver, what is the package dimensions, select which courier you want, and that's it. They come to your doorstep and you're good to go.
Now let's go to the headache part.
Yeah.
Customer service. Take a deep breath. Talk to me about customer service, especially in this line of business.
You should be so patient. Like being patient and always, so forget about, you know how customer always say customer is always right?
Yeah.
This is customers is never and absolutely never wrong. Cause we deal with like the customer and the courier. Like the customer goes like, oh, where's the shipment? It's been delivered. The courier's like, no, we didn't receive anything. So you have to see who's lying, who's not lying. But the key point from all of this is that we try to be as patient as we can with the customer because they are our moneymaker. If we disrespect or we go like we retaliate against the customer is gonna be like, you know what, I'm gonna stop using you guys for any reason.
Oh, but please don't get me wrong. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but this is a big problem.
Yeah.
Okay, I order food through a specific name every single day. And let's say 3 times of the week they're late.
Yeah.
And every time they're late, immediately I go to their chat. Hey, my order is late. What happened? Oh, sorry. We really apologize for the inconvenience. This must have ruined your day, but we're very sorry about it.
Yeah.
However, just give me a minute and I will fix it. And then they will pretend like they're calling the driver, and then they will text me back, okay, he's only a few minutes away. And then they would end the chat and then call me like 2 seconds later. Yes, sir, they're coming now. We just called them. Don't worry. I will do anything for you, whatever you need. I think this is a bit too much.
It's too fake.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's
like,
too fake.
I'm sorry, like I can read through your actions. I know exactly what you're doing. So don't pretend that you're actually caring for how I feel. Like if my food is delivered late, it's cold, I don't want to eat it anymore.
100%. Yeah. No, we don't take that approach, right? Because that's like you're just faking it. The customer's like, okay, finish. Whenever you're done, let me know. I'm just gonna hang up the phone. We don't do that. We're like, okay, we acknowledge that. We'll get back to you in 2 minutes. I just talk to them as if they're my friend. Hey, I know what you're doing. I'll call back in 2 minutes. And I actually talk to them and send them chat. Send them chat to the.
Do you offer live tracking?
Yes, we do.
Is it accurate?
Yes. So what's funny enough, and you mentioned that, is the fact that on our platform is we have it's because it's like a platform, it's a dashboard, you have everything. We have a tracking page where it shows you the tracking number and all, and you click on it, it shows you directly where on the tracking page of the courier themselves. So where the courier is, all
so you
of
can
that.
actually see him on the map.
Not all the couriers have that because not a lot of couriers have that technology. Some of them do, and we are developing our own technology to actually showcase the whole map. Yeah.
Okay,
So we're doing
because
that.
the situation I'm talking about is that when I make an order, sometimes I just see the bike
Yeah.
just going around in circles.
I know.
I call the driver.
Like, what are you doing?
I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, yes, I'm coming. And
Just
I'm
doing
like,
donuts and coming.
He's just playing around with his friends, like they're racing and they're just having fun, which I understand. That's not a problem, but at least be transparent. Don't tell me he's gonna be there in 2 minutes and then take half an hour.
No, correct.
It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense because look, now you're having bad experience. So now you're not enjoying enjoying utilizing the platform right now.
But I don't have another option. That's why I order from them every day.
Exactly. That's the thing because you're attached to that brand, right? And that's what we want to do. No matter how much there's mess ups that happen or mistakes or whatnot, we want to make the customer feel some sort of connection with us, and hence they stay with us longer, right? I'll give you an example of what happened, if you don't mind me saying it. One of our customers shipped a product, right, using X amount, the X company. They reached a country, the company rejected it. Regulations, they returned it, right? They returned it, and then the shipment got lost, and it was valuable. It was like 5,000 dirhams, right? It was lost. I called the courier. The customer was like, where is it, my shipment? I'm like, don't worry, I talked to them. So I went above and beyond. I spoke to the courier. I spoke to their manager. I'm like, this shipment doesn't make sense. Why did you guys lose it? X, Y, and Z. So they told me like, I'm just going to compensate you for 100 dirhams only. That's our rules and regulations. We can't compensate you more because you don't buy insurance. I'm like, you guys lost it.
I was just about to ask you, don't they have insurance on
They
stuff
do,
like
but
that?
they're like, oh, why didn't you insure? But a product, I shouldn't insure every single product. You guys should do that. Anyways, so as a company, what did I do? I paid the 5,000 from my pocket just because I want to satisfy the customer. And the customer was actually, you know what? They respected that. And you know what happened? They started referring me 10 other customers just because of that
That's
small
how it works,
action.
yeah.
So sometimes, because coming back to your question to the customer service, it's not only about like giving them update, it's actually showing them some sort of gesture that they like. You know what? I like it. Or sometimes I did one thing for a customer where like it was, I think it was Christmas Day, Christmas Eve, right? And she had to deliver something to a customer, and then the courier took longer than usual. She's like, oh, I needed to be there. I'm out of the country. It's Christmas. She needs it for Christmas. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do it. So I hopped on the car. I went to the warehouse of the courier. I picked it up and delivered it myself.
No way.
I swear. And then the customer was so appreciative of that she added me to the group of that mompreneurs.
Oh, wow.
Where I started getting influx of other customers.
Okay.
So that small gesture that we do, that we go above and beyond, that obviously other companies or the couriers won't do it just because like it's not my business. You have to follow the protocol. But we, since we're more flexible, we go like, you know what? I care about that person because I know as a business owner how it feels. I want to be there for them.
Exactly.
So that customer service, that extra notch of customer service is always needed. And when we did it, we as a company, we felt happy because we retained that customer and actually got more benefit from it.
Okay. And how do you measure your success?
I measure my success by like the satisfaction of customers. One.
So customer satisfaction is one.
Customer satisfaction is one. Second of all is when I see, for example, when a customer is started shipping with me, let's say they did 1 shipment a week, 2 shipment, and then all of a sudden after a couple of months I see them doing 10, 20. I see that person is actually growing. So when I come to it, I'm like, you know what? I actually helped that person succeed in his business because I helped him save some sort of cost. So that's what I feel like. I feel like I'm happy. That's what some sort of success for me as well.
Okay, so sense of fulfillment, basically, that your
Exactly.
service is actually helping businesses.
Exactly, because I feel like then that's needed. Because if that person is growing, that means my business is actually beneficial for him.
Exactly.
And then when it's beneficial for him, he's going to be enjoying it and actually referring other people.
Exactly.
And then that's going to be like, you know what? I'm going to get more customers, and actually that's how the success goals work.
Yes. Okay, now outside Shiplifier,
Correct.
who's Ali?
Ali.
Ali, not Ali. Who's Ali?
Who's Ali?
Outside the work.
So I'm a very laid back person, right? I enjoy like living, right? I don't have high expectations. I like enjoying my time with my
You
friends.
grew up in Dubai. Of course you
Yeah.
have high expectations.
The thing is, it instills in you, like, even if you don't want
Exactly.
even if you don't want to. No, but I'm a person who likes to be surrounded with everyone, right? Because I have a group of friends and I always like to be around them. And I like to see us grow as well. Like, we always talk about growing together. And I like to see how all of us are growing. We went from our like youth days where we're like going out and everything to everyone's like, here, you know what? It's business. We start talking about business, X, Y, and Z. But I'm a very family-oriented person where I like to spend a lot of time with my family, my brother, my sister, obviously my parents, and I like to just take it easy as well. I don't like to stress myself a lot outside of work, just because I'm like, I already have a lot of stress in work. But like when it's my time off, I like to stay home. I'm newlywed, so I got
Newlywed.
Yeah.
Wow. How long?
I remember September, so it's been 7 months.
Almost. Wow.
Yeah,
Congrats.
Thank you.
And how was that life? From that laugh, I know it all.
So it's basically I have 2 businesses running at the same time.
Oh, trust me. And I know which one is a priority at this point.
Exactly. No, it's been well. It's been really good, right? Like, being married is a blessing. I'm not saying this
Why?
because...
Why? Convince me. 'Cause I'm not convinced with that. I'm sorry.
Look,
I believe as an entrepreneur, if you're on your own, it's so much easier for you to focus and dedicate time towards your business and growing it and coming up with more ideas and testing, rather than splitting your time, as you said, 2 companies.
Yeah.
And because at a certain point, your priorities are going to change.
I agree with you and I disagree with you.
Please tell me more.
Right, because the reason I disagree with you is that it all depends on your partner. Because if your partner is not the right partner, she's not going to understand your vision. And if she doesn't understand your vision, all those complications come with it. But if she's the type of person where like, you know what, I understand where your vision is and I'll be supportive with you. So she is going to understand that you have your business as a priority for you. You have your work, you have your dedication for it. So whatever time you need to dedicate for your work, she'll be understanding for it. And she's going to be supporting you, right? This is why there's a famous saying now, maybe I'm going to say it wrongly, but they always say whenever you want to succeed, don't go run after a lot of women. Go with one woman and reach success with that.
100%.
So it's always that one person to help you, because especially if you're an entrepreneur, right? If you're working on a business, your mind is always stressed, always thinking of different things. You need some sort of like person to calm you down. And if that partner, when you have that partner who understands you, will help you calm down. And once you're calm, you have a clear mind of that vision that you want to go with. So on the next day that you go to work, you have a clear vision of how to tackle that specific aspect. So this is the point that I disagree with you, because marriage is a nice thing with the right partner.
Of course.
Yeah. So growing and actually when you get married, even at a young age, or even if you have a work, now when you start going to work, you have a purpose. Before, when I used to work and everything, I'm like, okay, what's my purpose? I'm just going out. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna save. I'm gonna do this X, Y, and Z. But when I have I'm married, I see the difference, the transition of it. I'm like, now I'm focused. Now I have a purpose into like getting ready, getting good at what I do, performing at a high level, so that way the outcome can be there, so I can help support my family. So that's the nice vision that I get.
Makes perfect sense. Makes perfect sense.
Are you convinced now?
I personally have come through a couple of investors who've actually asked me that question. They're like, are you fully dedicated to your work, or do you actually have a partner or a girlfriend or a wife? And I was like shocked. I'm like, why are you asking me this? Like, I'm like, yeah, I have a partner. They're like, oh, okay, fine, that's good, blah, blah, blah. But then they kind of understand, or people actually kind of judge you based on that. They're like, okay, if you have this sort of life, okay, most VCs or let's say most investors, they're looking for someone who's fully dedicated,
Correct.
fully devoted. If you have a partner who supports that, you're on a good rocket show.
Exactly.
However, if you don't, that becomes an obstacle in you getting to the next level.
100%.
And this is one of the biggest problems. So how is Ali different prior to marriage and after marriage when it comes to business?
When it comes to business, when I was working, when I was working previously and all, I wasn't dedicated to whatever I do. I was working, I was excelling what I do, but my focus wasn't at work. I was like, okay, whatever. I'm okay. I got some money. Let me just go have fun. Let me just go do that. And then I wasn't thinking of, okay, how to take the knowledge that I had to the next level, or what was something else that I needed to do. I was just so like, okay, I'm just going with the boat. Whatever the boat goes, I sail with it, right? But now, since I'm married, I'm like, okay, I'm going to work. I'm more time managed. I'm managing my time better. I'm focused. I'm like, okay, I'm taking calculated decisions now when I do my stuff, because I know anything that I do wrong, it's gonna affect me in the long run, right? But now, and obviously now, I don't have that much opportunity to take risks, because obviously it's gonna affect the family. But in general, now I feel like I'm more calm because I'm relaxed at home. So when I go to work, I can make better decisions, and I'm more focused. That's what I like.
Okay, I have a fun question. Okay, just to ask.
Go ahead.
Let's say you get a company, an investment company from Saudi, coming to you right now, telling you, we're going to fund you with any figure you say. You just give us a figure. You come put your headquarters in Saudi. You operate from here and shut down UAE.
Okay.
What's your input?
To be honest, it would be tough.
$20 million.
I don't mind going. Like,
I see the power of money here.
No, to be very honest, I don't have any problems. I would move there.
Okay.
And I know my wife would be open for it as well. But I just have some sort of attachment to UAE. I love UAE way too much. Because
we all do.
Yeah.
We all do. See, at a certain point in 2020, right before COVID, I got a funding round, but their actual, let's say, condition was for me to move HQ to Saudi and be based there. I turned it down. I regret it.
Really?
I regret it. Because the growth that happened during COVID and post-COVID would have made me somewhere completely different than where I am today. But at the end of the day, I learned from that. If I definitely get another opportunity where I see potential growth, I would go for it rather than being sentimental about, okay, this is my hometown. I'm sorry, it's like a couple of hours away. I can get on a flight and come and spend the entire weekend here.
100%.
Which is not a problem.
100%. But to me by the way, Saudi is a beautiful country.
100%.
I love that country. But I just have, to me, because the reason why I'm more inclined about UAE is because not because I'm more like attached to it. It's because me as a person, when I feel I'm comfortable in a country, right, and like I know my way to go, I know where to go and X, Y, and Z, I can excel in it. So I don't mind going and operating Saudi, but I would prefer to always have some sort of like leaning back to UAE.
Yeah, man, your roots are dug so deep here.
Yeah, it's hard. It's even when I went to Canada, I stayed there for like 10, 12 years. I was like, you know what? No way. I have to come back to UAE.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, even because that's the thing is with the UAE, it spoils you so much that anywhere you go, you start comparing with UAE.
100%.
So I'm like, you know what?
hotels to
Everywhere.
how clean the streets are, to the service, to the people.
The most important thing that we have here that anywhere else doesn't have it is the safety. That's the most important thing. Like that itself is the biggest blessing, honestly. So coming back to your question, if they gave me 20 million,
I'll go.
I'll go
think
running. I'll go running.
Good. And let's say if you do have $20 million right now, pumped into Shiplifier,
Yeah,
so operate in GCC,
correct.
what would be the top 5 decisions that you would take?
In terms of where I spend that 20 million?
Yeah.
Definitely in tech. Obviously, that's one. Where to
Okay.
spend it. Marketing. In terms of how market, exposure of the
Okay,
company.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Tech, you're talking about, let's say, product development, or
Yes.
you're talking about more research, or you're talking about enhancing your platform?
Just basically the R&D, and actually adding more value to the application itself. Marketing is the most important thing because the brand awareness there, and just in general brand awareness and how to get more leads. Because the more we can fund the marketing aspect, obviously the more awareness we can get. And the third aspect is obviously getting more and more salespeople, like flooding the market with like account managers and like having like sales executives and whatnot. Those are the three major things.
What's your input on influencers?
Influencers is good, but for my business it doesn't work that much, just because influencers mainly tackles B2C aspects and mine just tackles B2B. And influencers, I just feel like it's because if you think about it, right? If you think about it, my audience are mainly business owners, right? So business owners, I don't think they have that time of the day where to go like, hey, I just want to see what that influencer is doing.
100%, but they do their own market research.
They do their own market research, but
If I'm selling hoodies, I know who I'm selling hoodies to.
yeah,
And I know which influencer that all my audience listens to. So if you target that influencer and that influencer speaks to your audience and he recommends you, they're all going to come to you.
but I started deciding taking another approach, an influencer, but in a different domain, not an influencer like an Instagram influencer or whatnot.
Yeah.
Influencer where educational influencer.
Okay.
Like for example, a business an influencer who goes and like helps businesses open an e-commerce shop, and like they have like a channel where they do that. Those type of influencers we're tackling.
Okay.
But an influencer where they take our service and okay, I use this service, use it. I just feel it's not gonna work for us because it's not gonna be that much of an added value because it's temporarily, right?
Exactly.
There's no recurring stuff from it.
Exactly.
Whereas that person who actually is educating the customers or educating his users on how to build a fruitful e-commerce website or a business or anything like that, that website is going to be generating a lot of more revenue, and hence, obviously, we're going to be getting a lot of revenue with it.
Exactly.
Whereas as an influencer going and showcasing our platform, hey, I use this platform to ship my products from point A to point B, it's good, but then it's going to be for like a short period of time.
Exactly. From your perspective, do you think, and don't get me wrong, I've seen that you do it, I personally do it, I know a lot of people that do it. Do you think the right thing to do for business owners is to get behind the camera and talk about their product or service and share it with the people?
100%. 100%.
The founders themselves?
Yeah, 100%.
And what kind of an impact do you think that leaves in the market?
That just leaves like how credible your business is, right? That's one. Second of all, because when I go to a business, I want to see who's the owner behind it. Because when you know who's the owner, you get to know what kind of company it is, or where's the company going, or where's the company heading. If the business owner can't show himself, or he's too shy of going, that means like he doesn't have that credibility, or he doesn't have that confidence in him to actually take that business to the next level. But if the business owner can actually go and speak comfortably and confidently about his business, it means he's confident about what he's doing. So how can I expect the customers to have confidence in my business when I don't have enough confidence in my business to actually talk about it? So let me go behind the screen and talk about my business to actually show them I'm confident about it. This is something that you guys need. This is something important for you guys. So that person feels like, oh, if the founder is so confident and he's talking about it, that means it's something good. It's not some random person he hired him just to do like this talk.
Exactly. See, I see this a lot happening. Let's say, for example, let's say 10 years back, whenever Apple was launching a new product, it would always be in a conference, and actually Steve Jobs would come out and talk about it and introduce it and explain it to the people. Bill Gates would do the same thing with Microsoft. I don't see Bezos doing it for Amazon, though. Leave that aside.
Yeah.
Here in the UAE, for example, we have Al Abbar coming out to speak about Noon, their expansion, their growth.
Correct.
Representing his brand. We have Al Habtoor here also doing the same thing. So a lot of businessmen all over the world, entrepreneurs as well, they prefer to back up their product or service with their own personal branding.
Which is the best thing to do. Because look at, for example, the more you brand it. I like to give this example the best way to do.
Please.
Right? For example, we all know Brand for Less.
Yeah.
Right? You know, we know Tawfiq created and all that.
Of course.
So how did, in my opinion, their business model is amazing. They did phenomenal, everything as well. But how did we see, or how did you all know about Brand for Less? It's not about going and searching where is Brand for Less.
No, it's about Tawfiq.
So he took that brand and he showed us how confident he is about his brand, and he took us to the next level where we see now whenever we see Tawfiq, we know we associate it with Brand for Less. The same thing goes with Muhammad Al Abbar. We see Muhammad Al Abbar, he sits down, he's confident in conferences, he talks about Noon and A'mar and all that. When we see Muhammad Al Abbar, we directly associate it with Noon and A'mar. So that's the thing. Same thing goes with Tesla and all of them. So that's the thing, that the more you get to speak about your brand, you become that brand. You become the face of that brand. You become the face of that brand. People will then go like, oh, I like that person. I associate myself with that entrepreneur because how he built it. And now, if you want your brand to grow, once you associate yourself with the people, they go like, oh, what's his company? This is the company. I want to associate myself with that company.
Got you.
So the face of the brand, and especially the founder of the brand, is extremely important to grow.
Agreed. Honestly, for all the business owners out there, represent your brand. Let people know who you are. That's a fact. Okay, sir. Now I have two most important questions.
Go for it.
I ask to all my guests. So number one, please take a look there.
Yeah.
What would your advice be to young entrepreneurs in the UAE?
My advice for all young entrepreneurs is be patient and don't think that there's overnight success. Being an overnight success is with hard work, patience, and actually being dedicated to what you do.
Okay. And what's your advice to existing entrepreneurs who are already in the market? I'm not saying the ones who made it. I'm saying the ones who have been struggling for the past 4 or 5 years.
My advice is like there's always light at the end of the tunnel. Like you should always be consistent in what you do, because maybe today is not a good day, tomorrow, after tomorrow, but at the end of the day, eventually there's going to be a light at the end of the tunnel and you will reach. Because every day that you work, you stay consistent to what you do, you will reach an achievement at the end of the day. So don't back up, don't give up, and have faith in what you do, because at the end of the day, you will achieve what you want.
I agree, 100%. Okay, sir, when will we see you at the light at the end of the tunnel? Give me a date, and I promise you, I will contact you on that date and ask you.
Okay. Hopefully, if I'm not mistaken, beginning of 2025.
Beginning of 2025. Okay.
So
I will get in touch with you on that date, and we'll get reference to this.
Looking forward.
100%. Ali, thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate it. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much for having me.
Until we meet again.
Inshallah,
100%.
for sure.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.